Hello, today is Monday, August 19th. This presentation will look back to climate numbers since July and then look ahead to the latest outlook for the cold season to come. The 2013 monsoon season started a bit earlier than usual for eastern Utah and western Colorado in the first week of July. Precipitation recorded at regional airports, shown here for the month of July, show the general trend of wetter than normal conditions across the southern portion of the forecast area and drier than normal conditions north. Temperatures were well above normal, especially across the north where there were less clouds and showers. And what about the first half of August? Through Sunday, the 18th of August, the precipitation pattern of July continues, with generally wetter than normal conditions across the south and drier than normal north. Average temperatures have been running below normal, but that trend seems to be reversing. Monday afternoon, temperatures were quite warm, with 97 degrees recorded at the Grand Junction Airport, for instance. And what can you expect for the second half of August? With high pressure to our east and low pressure to our west, a moist south to southwest flow will continue. Disturbances in the vicinity of the Baja may provide deeper surges of monsoonal moisture, especially into the weekend of 24 to 25 August. This moist southwest flow is forecasted to persist into the final days of the month. The fall months are an important time of the year for eastern Utah and western Colorado. Here are three annual precipitation graphs for Vernal in northeast Utah, top left, Grand Junction in west central Colorado in the center, and Cortez, Colorado in southwest portion of the state at the bottom left. You can see that September and October are normally the wettest months of the year. By the way, September and October are the severe thunderstorm season for this region, when the mid to upper portions of the atmosphere have colder air and more shear that can support stronger thunderstorms capable of producing larger hail. And what about the outlook for September? Here is the National Climate Prediction Center's outlook for the month. On the left is the temperature probability chart. The large brown area centered over the Great Basin indicates a shift of the probabilities towards warmer than normal conditions. This area extends into eastern Utah and western Colorado. On the right, the precipitation probability chart indicates an area of increased chances of wetter than normal conditions in Arizona and New Mexico up to the Four Corners. But for this forecast area, there is less forecast skill, so there are equal chances of above, near, and below normal precipitation. What about for the fall season? Out at this time frame, climatologists are no longer tracking individual storms, but are looking to the state of the Pacific Ocean for clues to future storm track and intensity. In the equatorial eastern Pacific, between the date line and the coast of Ecuador, is the Nino 3.4 region outlined here by the red box. Warmer than normal temperatures in this region are called El Nino. Colder than normal temperatures define La Nina. Together, these are the warm and cold phases of the El Nino Southern Oscillation, or ENSO for short. Here is a chart showing current sea surface temperature departure from normal, with the Nino 3.4 region roughly enclosed in the red box. Near normal conditions have been in place for the last 12 months, and these neutral conditions have continued into mid-August 2013. So for the last year, we have been in ENSO neutral conditions, neither El Nino nor La Nina. Here is a somewhat technical slide showing the forecast from numerous models of how temperatures within that Nino 3.4 region will vary into the fall and winter, and even into the spring of 2014 on the right side of the graph. You can see the majority of the forecast lines remain close to the 0.0 line. In other words, the forecast that ENSO neutral conditions will continue. But there is a general trend upward with time towards warmer than normal conditions. So there is some potential for El Nino conditions to emerge this coming cold season. This chart shows the best forecast for ENSO is neutral conditions this cold season, with some slight possibility of El Nino developing later. ENSO neutral seasons are wild card seasons because, unlike El Nino, the jet stream and storm track have no preferred path. Looking back through our climate record, ENSO neutral conditions have produced both extremely dry and extremely wet winters. So finally, this brings us to our final slide, the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for the season September, October, November. On the left chart, you can see our shift towards warmer probabilities. The right chart of precipitation probabilities suffers from the uncertainty of an ENSO neutral fall season. So equal chances of near, above, or below normal precipitation is the best forecast for now. Indeed, if you go to the Climate Prediction Center's website, all the seasonal outlooks into the fall of 2014 look similar to these charts. They show a warm shift of probability centered over the desert southwest with an equal chances precipitation outlook. The next climate outlook will be updated in late September.